You just sent a simple no thanks text to a friend's invitation, and immediately your stomach drops. You stare at those two words sitting there on the screen, and they suddenly look cold, mean even. So your thumbs start flying. I'm just really tired tonight. Send. I've had such a long week, Send. I really wish I could though. Send. Maybe next weekend? By the time you're done, you've written a small novel justifying why you need to stay home in your pajamas. And the worst part? You feel guilty anyway. Most people will call this being polite, considerate, not wanting to hurt anyone's feelings. And maybe you've told yourself that too, lying in bed at 2 a.m. replaying the conversation, wondering if they're mad at you now. But here's the truth that no one talks about. You're not just explaining yourself. You're apologizing for existing with your own needs. There's a specific psychological pattern here, and it affects about 60% of people pleasers and anyone with anxious attachment. It's called the over-justification effect, but that clinical term doesn't capture what it actually feels like. It feels like you're on trial every time you have a preference, like you need to prove your feelings are valid before anyone will accept them. Here's what's really happening. When you were younger, your no probably wasn't good enough on its own. Maybe you said you didn't want to do something, and you got the interrogation. Why not? That doesn't make sense. You're being dramatic. So your nervous system learns something devastating. Your feelings don't count unless you can defend them like a lawyer. A simple boundary isn't safe. It needs armor made of explanations. And that armor became so automatic, you don't even notice you're doing it anymore. Psychologist Dr. Harriet Braker's research on people-pleasing shows that chronic explainers aren't being extra kind. They're doing damage control before the damage even happens. You're not thinking, how can I communicate clearly? You're thinking, how can I make absolutely sure they don't get upset with me? Every additional sentence is another insurance policy against rejection. But here's the heartbreaking paradox. The more you explain, the less your boundary matters. Every justification becomes something they can argue with. Oh, you're tired? Come on, a little socializing will energize you. Suddenly, your no isn't a decision anymore. It's a negotiation, and you're losing. This isn't about being cold or rude. There's absolutely nothing wrong with offering context when it feels right. But there's a Grand Canyon-sized difference between sharing information and begging for permission to have your own feelings. One is connection. The other is asking if you're allowed to be human. And the cost of this? God, the cost. You've probably spent years wondering if something's wrong with you, if you're selfish, too sensitive, too much. You've sat there after saying no to something, feeling like you've committed a crime, running through every possible way you could have worded it better. That constant audition for other people's approval, it's suffocating. But here's what changes when you stop. You realize that no can be gentle and complete at the same time. Can't make it tonight, but thank you for thinking of me. That's it. No performance, no dissertation, no holding your breath waiting for them to validate your reason. You're not being mean, you're being honest. And real kindness isn't manufactured from guilt. It's clarity with warmth. The people who truly care about you won't need a PowerPoint presentation to respect your boundaries. They'll just respect them because they love you, not your justifications. If your chest got tight reading this, if you immediately thought of 5 recent texts where you did exactly this, you've been carrying this pattern for a long time, and you deserve to put it down. You're not on trial. Your feelings don't need evidence, and no isn't a word that requires a defense attorney. It's just a word, and it's allowed to stand on its own.